Hello, all. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome. Hi, Richard. Hi, Kabir. Hi, Leela.
Well, we are all here for a special welcome to Hylo for the Holomovement community. Um, I think we're giving it just like a little minute to see if any more folks trickle in, but we're excited to be here with all of you, and we're recording this so that the whole community will have access to the demo. Um, and I think we could get started. So, Marika, would you like to start us off with a few words?
Absolutely. Well, it is absolutely wonderful to be with you all. I know this is being recorded, and so I'll say a few words because I know there are new people in the community, and maybe even those that are here maybe know about the Holomovement or fully in, or have just been curious and heard about it through one of the events, or things that have been happening as we've been really more public since I guess the end of February. But the Holomovement is a sociological movement of transformative action. It's guided by science and spirituality and the science of David Bohm and the implicate and the explicate order. Um, it's about awakening us to our interconnectedness and transformative action. At the end of it, this is what it's about. And so all of us coming together are really here to move the world, shape and shift the world that we actually want to create. That is actually for the betterment of all, right? So um, everyone in the community that are here today and are with us online have already said yes to the Holomovement. And I thank you for that. Welcome to the Holomovement. I am the core synergist. I don't know if I actually said that. So I'm the core steward of the Holomovement to get this whole movement moving up the hill so that we can let this go. But it is just an honor to be with you. It's really great to see and feel you. And we'll be doing way more of these calls to really get into more relationship together as we build this. Another point is that the Holomovement really launched um, about a year ago, and we've been in development. And so this really is the beginning steps of the movement coming outward as we're developing the infrastructure for this and moving forward. And Hylo is a part of that infrastructure. So I thank you all for being the first adopters of this, really, because we're coming in to create new spaces and look at and define and this beta way of an experiment of how we actually communicate together as more people are going to be funneling in. So you are the beginners, the first adopters of this whole experiment in action. I want to thank Hylo as well. Yasmine and Krisha and Clare are the lead stewards and have been pretty much the developers and developing team. Terran Collective, who are the main stewards of Hylo. Hylo, the reason why we chose Hylo for our communication platform rather than the Facebooks out there. Or there's many other communication platforms, even Mighty Networks. It's because of the ethos. Hylo, at its core, the heart of Hylo represents the betterment of all. They are the leading stewards of the world. They are developers and action-oriented groups of people who are making the world a better place in their own different ways. And I'm sure Krisha will share what she's doing. And she has a whole long in Costa Rica and in agro forestry and everything that's happening. Every one of these people here in this group are doing amazing things in the world. They represent, they are walking the talk, they are in action, they are love in action, they are transformative action. And so Hylo, it was really important for us to grow our community in the platform because it has to start with us. So I know this is about the tour of Hylo so that you can get your, your bearings and understand how this whole thing works. So I'm going to pass it off to the team, but I just wanted to give you a quick welcome and say hello. And I'm just honored to be with you all. You'll see more of me. I am totally here and available. So if you want to send me a message through Hylo, you'll learn as they do give the demo of how it all works, but you can message me directly. I'm here and I'm available. So love you all. I would like to pass it off to Yasmine Albagari, who is the community lead of Hylo, but is also our lead community steward for the Holomovement. So thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Claire. Welcome. Hello, everyone. So good to see your faces. I would love to invite any of you who's on off camera to put their camera on so we can see each other's faces. So much of community is about, there we go, yay. Siegfried, so good to see you. So much of building community is actually being able to be together in these virtual spaces. Even though we might be all over the world, we are united here in this moment. And so before I start with a little connection moment, I'd love to invite you all to just to close your eyes for a moment, and just take a deep breath in. Just feel the ground that you're on, wherever you are in this world. I know that the Holomovement is so much about interconnection, and we are all interconnected. And I just want to invite you to take a slow breath in, a deep breath in, and just notice your body as you inhale. And then inviting you to just take a long breath out. And just again, take a deep breath in on the count of 3. And another deep breath out. I'm just inviting all of us here, both present and also elsewhere, to just feel this miracle of existence and of life, that we get to be here together, co-creating this incredible movement with our individual gifts, and as we support one another to elevate into higher levels of consciousness. And so with that, I invite you to open your eyes and welcoming you back into the space. Beautiful. Thank you all. All right, we're going to separate into holons, a group of 3. And I'm just going to pick a card. One of my favorite prompts is called card deck called We're Not Really Strangers. Isn't that amazing? Like, no, but I imagine that a lot of you don't know each other. So imagine by the end of this call, we're going to know each other level deeper. And so Claire's or Krisha is going to put us in groups. And the question that I'm inviting us to reflect on together is, what is our superpowers? And I just want you to boldly share your superpower with the other 2 in the group. And we'll take about 6 minutes. So you'll each have 2 minutes each, and we'll go back together and reflect. All right. Countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go.
And Catherine, you should see an invite into a breakout room. You're also, of course, totally welcome not to join if you don't want to. And I can't hear you because you're on mute. But I can see that you're in a car, so no worries if you're like driving around.
So I actually pressed join the room, and then it just didn't happen. Okay, so let me try one more time.
Okay, I can try to move you there too.
It does room 3, and then when I press join, just like for some reason, I'm not actually able to join, but it's my intention. Okay, so I'm gonna try it again. It says join breakout room number 3. I'm into it. I press the join, and then it just doesn't actually do that, which is fascinating. I wonder if I'm supposed to talk to you. Like, do you think that's what's happening?
Well, let's
That's
do it.
hilarious.
Let's do it. Because otherwise, oh. See.
Nope. Okay. One more time. So I'm here at the Empathy Center
Oh,
doing the workshop that was attached to the film festival, to the Illuminate Film Festival that you're hosting, that you hosted. I guess it's over.
mhm.
And I'm in Los Angeles. And so are there, is Holomovement, are there other people to connect with in Los Angeles, or?
Probably. Yeah, I would imagine so. Are you in the Hylo group?
So I just joined like today, and so that's how I knew about this particular meeting. And weirdly, like, so I read the holographic universe a couple of months ago, and then when I went back to kind of meditate on that, hollow movement came up. I got the blurb for the workshop. Once I committed to that, I went back and I was like, oh, cool, the film festival as well. And then I actually noticed that it was hosted by Hollow Movement. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, that's pretty weird, right? Just
Hmm.
because the holographic universe is like an old book, and the person, I loved it to death, but like the man passed when I was 10 or something. Anyway, it's an unusual choice. And then to have it totally circle back and be, yeah. So that's that in a nutshell. Um, should I try?
Oh dear. Hey Jenna, we are in the middle of breakouts and those will be over in just like another few minutes. So you're welcome to hang. And there is one other person who's like in and out of this space. But the prompt is to share your superpower. So, so if you want to share your superpower, you are welcome to.
Okay. You know what? I think probably superpower is not internet connection, right? We've established that. I need to work on that particular superpower. Um, uh, okay, I would say that it was genuine love for all people and objects that I encounter, right? Like, I think most people have more of a middle stage that could go on for a really long time. And for me, it's pretty much just like, unless you're poking me in the eye, just pretty much right away, I can find like to deeply appreciate almost anything.
Mm, thank you. I don't know where Catherine went. She's been kind of in and out. Yasmine, I see you're back. Is it time for us to wrap up our rooms?
Yeah,
All
now
right,
is
I'm
the
going to
time.
close the rooms and we'll get our folks back in here.
They may not want to leave. It's nice to connect.
Yes. Yes, yes. Mhm. And we've grown a little bit. We have some new folks in the space. So welcome to Laura, welcome to Jenna.
Welcome back, everyone. Before I pass it on back to the Hylo crew over here, would love to hear maybe 2 or 3 shares of something that you've learned about the other person, their superpower. Go.
Well, I can share briefly, that I learned about Yasmine. She has the superpower of a very beautiful heart that is open to connecting with all souls without any discrimination, without any sense of separation. It's just connecting at a higher octave. And it's a very beautiful way to not only connect, but draw others into that higher octave as well. That is indeed a superpower. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
true.
One more.
Well, that is pretty much in line with what Mar said, Mariko, about herself, and being able to. She said it doesn't matter what she says, but people who come into her orbit are automatically uplifted and their vibration raised to a low frequency. So, good team here.
Beautiful.
Attest to that. When Mariko walks in the room, the whole room lights up. There's like an energy shift that happens with her presence. So I would agree.
Beautiful.
How about
You're
one?
embarrassing her.
Totally are. Thank you, Yasmine and Hylo.
Richard, what about you? What have you learned about the other person you were with and their superpower?
Yeah, in our group, we didn't relate to the word superpower and going there. It was an extension outside of our scope, so we avoided the question to some extent. However, we did talk about what drives us in calling, and Siegfried mentioned the unconditional will to be is his focus. This unconditional will to be, and another talked about just love and the power of love.
Beautiful. Love that. And thank you for not following the rules. That's what we like here.
Good.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for playing. With that, I'm going to pass the baton back to Claire and Krisha.
Okay, hey everyone. Well, what is going to happen next is I'm going to share a little intro about what Hylo is, and then I'll hand it over to Krisha, who will give us a nice entry-level demo to the platform. And I'll just say a few words of introduction. I'm based in Northern California on the lands of the Sierra Miwok people. And I am a mother, a land steward, a permaculturist, and a technologist. I'm the director of product for Hylo. And so I focus on cultivating our partnerships and our communities and really listening to those partner communities to understand what is needed in technology to serve their purpose, and then help translate that into what technology we build on the platform. And that's how we build Hylo in general, is through that partnership. So it's been really beautiful to connect with Holomovement and just recognize very compatible values that we share and dream into what we can do together as technology and as community leading towards action in the world. So maybe I'll share my screen for a minute, just because we just launched a beautiful new website that I'm really proud of. Hylo is a place where you can create community with purpose. And it is a place to really activate people's passion around shared purpose. And a place where groups can come alive. And it is designed for interdependence. So what that means is that groups can be connected to other groups and they can be nested within groups. We actually call it our holonic architecture. So there's a pretty strong symmetry with the holonic architecture of the Holo movement. And we work through partnership. And so we've worked with all of these different groups to develop Hylo in ways that support these communities around the world. And it's really groups on the forefront of creating a world that works for all. So some are in regenerative agriculture, a lot of communities of practice, spiritual communities, communities of care, and place-based communities. So that's some of the company that you're in when you come onto Hylo. And I won't spend too much time going into all the different features that set us apart, but Hylo is really calibrated as a tool to support creating cultures of stewardship that really empower people to take action, and cultures of mutual support, where everyone is able to help each other and meet each other in what is needed, caring for each other. We really care about place-based action. So we have a geographic map and you can start to find what's around you and connect with people locally. So that's a unique thing. And ultimately, our goal here is to regenerate this planet and create a world that works for all. And you're all invited to be a part of it. So I just want to really welcome Holomovement onto Hylo and thank you all for being here. And I'll pass it to Krisha.
Hi, everyone. My name is Krisha. I'm a land steward living here in Costa Rica, and I'm a part of a project, a regenerative farm here in the cloud forest. So really passionate about land stewardship, as many of our groups on Hylo are. Alongside this, I'm also a core steward of the Hylo platform. I'm a part of the community circle, and I'm helping groups and users to create a thriving presence on Hylo, understanding how to use the platform, and really activating the highest potential of their groups. Some of my passions are land stewardship, bioregionalism, community weaving, Ayurveda, and astrology. And I'm going to share my screen now and just to give you a quick overview of Hylo and how you can use it to activate your holons. And let's see here. Claire, do you mind allowing me to share my screen?
Yeah, check if you can.
Okay. Welcome. This is your Holomovement space on Hylo. Think of this as your home. It's called the activity stream. This is where you see posts shared by other folks in the group. And really think of this as the space to communicate and mobilize through knowledge sharing, mutual support, and coordination through collective action. So as I scroll through here, you're just seeing posts shared by others in the group. I'm going to click on one so we can dive into what posts contain. So here you will see a title, an image, a description of the post, and you will see a comment thread. So there's a couple of things you can do with posts. You can comment through emoji, you can add a verbal comment and tag others that might be interested in the post. So on the post itself, you'll see this area up here, which is called a topic. Topics help categorize posts, help people find content that they're interested in, and stay tuned, we'll dive into topics a little bit later. You can see the type of post, and also if you click on the three vertical dots, you can see an area where you can copy a link of a post that's been shared and share it on other platforms, share it with your community. So there are different types of posts you can create to connect with others in the group. And we're just going to run through those real quick. If you click on this area, hi Krisha, click here to start a post, you will see the post creation module. And if you go into the upper right, we have these different types of posts that you can use to connect with others. So discussion might be topics that you care about, that you want to connect with others about. Requests and offers, I want to take a moment to highlight these. We really want you to think of this space as a place for mutual support, for you to share what you're doing, what you might need as it relates to your Holon or your other projects, what you might have to offer others within the Holomovement, because we're here creating a movement together. We're moving past the paradigm where we're all isolated doing our own thing. We're moving into the new paradigm where we're really leaning on each other for mutual support. And that's one thing that Hylo is just suited for. So really want to highlight requests and offers as things to become familiar with as you're playing around in Hylo. We also have resource posts. So this could be a digital resource or an actual physical resource that you might have to share, as well as projects and events. So we're going to create a sample post right now. I'm going to create a request. So what goes into creating a post? Add a title. So I'm really interested in connecting with other land projects all over the world. and add a description. This is actually a request that I have. So this is a real live example. Some background, I'm a hub within the Holomovement, and we have the regenerative farm that we're working on. And I really want to activate other land stewards within the Holomovement to connect, share resources, best practices, and things that can support one another. And here you'll see a section called topics. Topics, as I mentioned, are ways to categorize content. And you can add up to 3 topics in any post that you share. I recommend that you choose topics that are relevant without creating multiple topics that you might want to share, like kind of keeping it limited to make sure that we're not overwhelming the Hylo space with different topics. And I'm going to share this is related to a Holon project. And then if it's relevant, you can add a time frame for when this request is available. For me, I'm going to keep this as an open request. And lastly, a location. So we really want to activate regional spaces and for you to be able to connect with others in your local landscape. So I'm going to add Costa Rica here. That's where I live, so that my post will show up on the Holomovement's map, which Claire touched upon and we'll dive into later. You can also attach images, files on your post. So I'm going to just pick an image that I had shared on my desktop and upload that. And then click post. Now you see my request post. It's in the activity stream. And there's a couple things that you can do once you create a post. You can go back and edit it or delete it. There's a couple options here that are only available to group admins, which I am, so I'm not going to dive into those things just now, but just know you can always go back and edit a post after you've created it. And here you will see a space for people to add comments, to tag others using the @ symbol that might be interested in what I've shared, and really build a conversation around what's being shared. So there's a few things you can do on this stream. Here you will see some settings that you can toggle. How do you want to sort the stream? You'll find that here, either by latest activity, by the post date, or those that have a lot of emoji reactions or comments on them, or popular posts. You can also adjust how you see the stream. So right now we're viewing it in card view. You also have list view if you want it to be a little bit more condensed. We also have different grid views. And lastly, you can search the stream for relevant content. Say, let's continue with the thread here. I'm really interested in regeneration. I can search for that, and posts that have that keyword will pop up. So think of this as a search feature on anything that's been shared in your group. The next area I'm going to point us to is the member directory. The Holomovement is nothing without you all, without the members. And Hylo has a rich member directory so that you can find other folks that you want to connect with, folks with similar interests, skills, or things that they're learning, so we can build this movement together. So if you come to the member directory, you will see this area where you can search by keyword, skills, or interests. And I'm going to find folks that have skills or interested in permaculture. So you type the keyword here and you'll see some member profiles pop up. One thing I want to point out before diving in further is that a member profile is it's a lot more than just details. It's how you can really become known to others in the community. And completing a profile with authenticity really builds trust and fosters meaningful connection and belonging in a group. So I really want to stress filling out your profiles to completion. You can see people's skills and interests, and it really helps you know, why would I reach out to this person? So I'm going to pop into Claire's profile so we can just see what that houses. You will see a description about them, their skills and interests, which they've selected, and things that they're learning. You'll also see groups they're a member of. And if you scroll below that, you'll also see their recent activity. So you can see what they're sharing about, get a feel for what they're interested in. And if there's something that piques your interest, we also have this icon here, which is the space to message a member. So we have direct messaging with Hylo. You can access that from their profile, or you can click on this messaging icon in the upper right that we'll dive into further to send individual or group messages. And on the thread of completing your profile to completion, I'm just going to show you how to do that real quick. If you go to your settings right here, clicking on your photo icon, and then on profile, you'll be navigated to your member profile, and you can click edit profile to include a banner image, a photo, a tagline, write about yourself, really share your story, your location so you can show up on the group map, a website if it's relevant, skills and interests, and what you're learning. There's a couple other areas that you can add, but like I said, really try to take some time to fill this out because it really helps to build, foster those connections that can lead to so much more. So I'm going to dive back into the Holomovement Hub. The next section I want to show is the Groups tab. The Groups tab is basically a map of all the interconnected holons, the Holomovement, and really what's happening in the space. As you can see, there's many different hubs here that are a part of the Holomovement, and if you scroll below, you can see all the different hubs and what they're doing. You have a brief description on it, and if there's something that piques your interest, for me, choosing Earth pops out. You can click on it, learn more about their purpose, read a description about them, and also request membership in joining that holon. So one thing with Hylo, we don't believe in operating in silos. We really believe in networks creating change. So the Holomovement is an embodiment of that. And we invite you to explore what are some of the other hubs in the network, and if there are relevant ones, and if there's things that you can plug in and support with, this is an invitation for that. I'm just going to pause and see if there's any questions, any clarification needed. And if not, I'll just continue and we can dive into questions at the end of the demo. Okay, great. So the map. The map is one of my favorite features of Hylo. And as we can see, we're zoomed in on Sedona right here. I'm going to zoom out so we can get a bigger context of the Holomovement as a global movement. The map gives a geographic context of all members, posts, and holons within the Holomovement. And you can zoom out with your trackpad and you can drill into what you want to see on the map. So we have all the different posts that you can filter out. Say you want to see all the resources that have been shared in the US, you can filter that. You can see what's happening in your local area. As an example, I used to live in San Francisco, so I'm going to dive into there to see what's happening. And we see that there's a couple members in San Francisco. If I open that up, I see there are two folks that are in the Holomovement. Maybe I want to have a connection event with them since they're in my area. We're all a part of this movement, learn about what they're doing. So think of the map as a way to get an idea of what's happening in a certain area. One of my favorite things with the map is that we have a feature for a map layer for native territories. So if you click on this icon right here, you will see different map views, street, satellite, some different options, but you can also toggle on native territories to see what land are you on, whose land are you on, and have a deeper connection of what was here before us. So I just wanted to highlight that for you. The last thing with the map that I want to share is that you have an ability to share a map view. So we're looking at this region right here, the southern United States. Say I want to get notified when there's any requests or offers in my area. I would toggle on requests and offers, And then you could click the heart button in the upper left corner. And this is a way to save this map view. So if there's any new requests or offers in this area, you get a notification and you can support with others, support others in what they're doing. There's some other links here below that I want to highlight for you as well. Any resource post that's been created, so any resource that has been shared in the group, you can click on the resources tab and you will see those posts. So come here if you want to see what resources other people have shared. If you create a resource post, that will show up there. So just think of that as a library for you. We also have an ask and offer section. So we really want to highlight this as a space for mutual support, as a way to connect with others on what you're doing, what you're needing, and what you have to share. Again, we can't do this alone, and we have so many amazing members in this group, and really leaning on what they have to offer is imperative. And below, you'll also see some documentation on creating a Holon, some videos on how to toggle your group settings. If you are a Holon, how to set it up. Feel free to dive into those on your own accord. And now we're going to dive into topics. Topics, as I mentioned before, are ways to categorize content, ways to filter content, and there's a couple other things you can do with topics. So if you click on the topics tab, you'll be taken to a list of the topics that have been created in the group. So I'm just going to click on this one, Holon Project. What you can do with a topic is subscribe to it so you get notifications when there's new posts with that topic. Another thing you can do is engage in quick chat around topics. So you can see here, this is a introduction post I created about my project here in Costa Rica. If other people have comments or things to share, not only can they share that on the post, they can also send a direct message within this chat stream. So think of this as a space to engage in quick chat with others in the group around topics that you care about. So next area I'm going to dive into, I'm going to take us a little bit beyond the Holomovement context. If you click on the icon here, the three vertical lines in the horizontal lines in the upper left corner, you'll be taken to your group navigation setting. So there's a lot happening here. You will see all the groups you're a member of. Some of you might only be a member of the Holomovement. Some of you might be a member of your Holon as well as the Holomovement. But just know that's where you will find, that's where you can toggle between groups. If you're interested in creating a group, you can do so here. Anyone can create a group at any point about something that you care about, something that is purposeful in your life, and you can do that there. We also have a public stream, which is a stream of posts that have been shared that have been marked as public. So anytime you create a post, there's an option to toggle it on as public so that anyone within the Hylo can see it beyond the Holomovement. You will also see a group explorer, which is a space to explore other groups that are in Hylo. So you can search by keyword for things that you're interested in. I love permaculture, so I would search for that and see if there are any groups that have that within their as a keyword, so you can connect with projects around the world. We also have this farm explorer here. We do have some farms that are in Hylo. We really are passionate about connecting people with their food systems. So you can come here to search for farms that are near to you to connect with your local food system. If you want to search for anything on Hylo, you will see this search icon here. This icon with the question mark is where you can access feedback and support, user guide. If you need help with anything in Hylo, feel free to message us here. And you will see an icon to access your direct messages. You can open this to send direct messages to an individual or group messages. And then lastly, your notifications live here. And we will see that Clare Politano just commented on my post. If you click on a notification, you're taken to the post and you can respond directly there. one thing I realized I didn't highlight that's really important about posts, I'm going to go back and edit it. You have the option to create a post in multiple different groups at once. And this is really important because you can share the same post across multiple groups, creating a shared conversation for cross-pollination and emergence in those groups. So not only do I want to share this in the Holomovement HoloLens Global Hub, I also want to share this in my hub, which is called, my Holon, which is called Monte Con Color. So by sharing these posts in these two groups, there's a shared conversation that can happen on a single post. So I invite you to explore this feature. If you're creating posts within your Holon, if it's relevant, feel free to also share it in the Holomovement Holon's Global Hub group, because that way people throughout the Holomovement will be able to see what you're sharing about, and they can be a shared conversation for that cross-pollination. Last thing I'm going to point out before I open the space for questions is where you can access your group settings. So we touched upon this earlier. If you click on your photo icon in the upper left or upper right corner, and then on settings, you'll be taken to your group set or your personal settings. You can edit your profile here. You can access all the groups that you're a member of in the groups tab, leave any that might not be relevant anymore. In the invites and requests tab, you will see invitations to you to join your groups, as well as any open requests that you have. If you've requested to join a group, that will show up here. You can adjust your notification settings here. We have a daily digest post, which will send you either a daily digest, a weekly, or if you choose not to receive that, never, where you will get an email on any new posts within groups that you want to receive those notifications on. You can also choose what types of notifications you want to receive, or if it's by email or mobile, as well as toggling group notifications based off of ones you care about. So I have most of my notifications off right now, but I definitely want to know what's happening in the Holomovement Global Hub group, so I'm going to turn that on. Lastly, account, you can update your email and your password here, and any saved searches you have will pop up here. Earlier, we created a saved map view, which was for requests and offers in the San Francisco region. That will show up here. Feel like I've spoken a lot, so I'm going to take a pause here and open the space for questions from you all. And I'm going to leave my share open and see what's going on in the chat.
Thank you, Krisha. That was absolutely wonderful.
It's
Are there
a
any?
very well. I just mentioned Krishna and Clare and Yasmine. That is an incredible site that you have developed. You know, you said that this has only been going for a year or so. This is I've never seen such complex site so quickly. You know, and I'm very impressed with it. And in fact, tomorrow I'm going to sign up and join with my groups, and I probably will have a bit of time for the learning curve. There's so much there, and of course, but will this particular your explanation has been recorded? Will we be receiving an email for this recording so I can listen again, follow along? Because I'm sure to get lost here and there, you know, along the way. But I'm very excited about it. Well done.
Thank you. We absolutely will be sharing the recording with everyone.
I assume. Good.
And Kabir, just want to mention the Holomovement had been started about a year ago. Hylo's been in existence for many, many years.
Oh, that explains it. I've never seen a site developed quite like this. So in such a short time. Holomovement for a year. Thank you for clarifying that. In fact, if I could ask, what's the relationship? That's not quite clear to me yet between Holomovement, and I've just connected with Holomovement, and that's how I learned about the Hylo. Is there a direct relationship between what they're doing on and are they the umbrella for this? How would you define that relationship or connection?
Go ahead, Claire.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I was just gonna say that Hylo, first of all, Hylo is a nonprofit, and we developed this technology just to serve these communities. And Holomovement reached out to us a while ago, and we decided to partner together because our values are so aligned. So
Yes.
we're officially partners.
Okay, good, good, good. Mhm.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you. I spoke with Claire because I didn't have the technological know-how to actually get into the room. I tried several times. Room 3, so sorry. Yeah, try again next time. I caught the Holomovement workshop at the film festival. I'm here in Santa Barbara doing the workshop that's attached to the Illuminate Film Festival. And I just wanted to say, like, oh my gosh, I could not be more excited. Thank you so much for like doing this and creating this platform. And I second all of his thoughts. Like, this is so impressive and organized, and I'm just very excited and grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, welcome. You're so welcome.
And Catherine, just want to say, are you at the Creativity Lab with Paula and
Right
Peter?
now.
Oh my God, I
Yes,
love it.
exactly.
Give them our love. Give them our love. A big hug for us.
I will absolutely do that. Yeah, this
I
has
love
just
that you took
been
this.
just like the most serendipitous, lovely, coming together of so many things. So it was a success.
I thought you looked familiar. So big hugs to you. Big hugs to you.
Hmm. I
Yes.
I come from a live event side. I'm doing a project called Coherent Community, and it's about building that capacity within the within these circles, very, very similar to for a platform for this. Um, and one of the things that I wanted to be able to do is I want to come from the live to the online rather than the reversed. That if we can build at the live side in connections like this, then I think that the online platform will be robust. So within live events, as much as possible, want them to use the online tools in conjunction with the live events. So they're getting used to the live events as they're going through my workshop and that connection online. So having a discussion that people go into from the live event. Okay, so now we're going to go into this discussion, have a question there where they
Looks like dear Richard is broken up.
say Hylo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Richard, you cut out for us a little bit. Oh, looks
A
like
lot.
you dropped off.
Yes.
Well, any other thoughts, takeaways, or reflections?
Questions?
Yes.
Hi, thank you for all of this. So it's a lot to take in. I'm curious. I'm on a page called groups, and I'm not clear what that means. Groups versus holons. Like, what's the definition of a group?
I'm happy to respond. So a group as any a group of members or humans coming together to do something together. So while the vernacular of group is listed in Hylo, we're actually referring to the holons that the folks within the Holo movements are creating. So a holon is any group of people of more than 3 individuals that are working on something together. So when you're on the groups tab, you see the Holomovement as that central hub. All the different circles you see coming off of it are different hubs that are holons that are a part of the Holomovement.
Okay,
So
so that's the difference between Hylo for everybody and Hylo for the Holomovement.
exactly.
Is that the
So
groups on Hylo are the holons of the Holomovement.
exactly.
Okay, got it.
But
And
just know you can create any group that you want. So you have your holon here, but if there's something else that you're passionate about that you're working on that you want to bring together folks to do, you can create a group on Hylo.
okay, and at the top of that page, there's a diagram or a map.
Mm-hmm.
How do I'm like double clicking on it and stuff. I'm not able to bring it up or make it bigger, make it so that I can read it. What do I need to do?
Yeah, it's a visual map of all the groups that are connected to the main Holomovement space. And because there are so many groups in the Holomovement, they're not all showing up on the map. So the ones that are visible, you could click on them and it will take you either directly to the group or to a join page. But otherwise, if you're not seeing something on there, that one's not really navigable yet. But so then you can look at the list of groups underneath it to see every single group.
Okay, so there's no way to just enlarge that so that it fills my screen so that I can see what's on it.
Not yet, but that would
Not
be
yet.
very cool. Yes, I'm going to send that one to the developers.
Okay, that would be really great because
It would.
it's very dynamic looking. I can't really read most of it, so that would be good.
Yes, Siegfried.
Yeah, I'm Siegfried, and I'm still confused about the relatedness between the Holomovement, where I'm coming from, because New Republic of the Heart, where I'm a member in, is a part of the Holomovement. And I think Emmanuel knows Mason at present very, very, very specific, and Cass and myself, we are from New Republic of the Heart. So, and we have understood that New Republic of the Heart is a holon of Holomovement, or is that in the understanding of Hylo, a hub of Hylo? So if you can, or if somebody can clarify that relatedness and that understanding of not hierarchy, of connectedness, this is what I'm in need of to understand better. Thank you for listening. I've spoken now.
Good question. Thank you.
Well, I can try to explain that. It sounds like Republic of the Heart is signed up as a holon. So it's your own organization, but also registering itself as a holon, which is a part of the Holomovement. So you've signed up to join the movement. And then Hylo is the technology platform that we're hosting the online Holomovement community. So and I'm on the Hylo team, Krisha's on the Hylo team, and Yasmine is on the Hylo team, and Yasmine is also on the Holomovement team. So she's on both teams now because we've come together as partners. And Hylo is probably a holon too at this point. So there's a certain element of us joining each other. And so any holon that signs on board to this too is really joining an ecosystem, is how I would call it. And all of these different groups are coming together to contribute and be a part of that ecosystem. So yeah, it's not about like hierarchy or ownership or anything like that, but more of a coming together and joining in an interdependent system.
Claire, for further clarification, if we create a group in the Holomovement, and again, I'm just connecting with that, so I'm not familiar with it yet. But what Siegfried was saying, from my understanding, we create a group there, a holon. Is it automatically connected to Hylo, or do we have to recreate it on Hylo or connect it somehow?
Yes. So there's a form when you apply to become a Holon, and that's on the Holomovement website. And then part of that process of becoming a Holon will be to set up your group on Hylo.
Okay.
And that's probably something that we can help with. We already have an explainer video. We're going to make it as easy as possible. And so then you have your group on Hylo as well, and it's going to be nested within the bigger Holomovement group. However, just because it's nested in that group doesn't mean it's not its own independent entity. And you can take that group and do whatever you want with it. And you can also join it to other groups on Hylo. There's all kinds of other groups out there that might be related to what you're doing, and you can be searching for them and connecting group to group, and then creating your own ecosystem and just growing the movement in that way.
Okay.
And I just want to add, thank you, Kabir, for the question, and Siegfried as well. We're seeing it's not just small groups coming together to form Holons, but organizations and also other networks. And so when you have larger scale or people that are, a bigger organization coming in, the point around the hierarchy is really important, because it's not about that. When we're talking about the different partnerships, we're just connecting in synergy. So in some way, even though, for instance, we just came from the Illuminate Film Festival, which is in Santa Barbara, which is where Catherine is at currently. Illuminate as an organization is a partner in synergy with the Holomovement. And so coming together, we're all able to connect and nest. So their Holon is an organization, a Holon is connected to the Holomovement Holon, to the greater movement, so that we can all connect and collaborate together in the community. So you're all coming in with like-minded community, even though Illuminate is an organization and a very sovereign entity within Hylo. You see what I'm saying? So there's no hierarchy there. It's just more of like, oh, I'm connected to this group, I'm connected to this group. But by being connected to the Holomovement group, now you have access to our whole community. So now that asks and offers and resources and all that sharing can happen together, because you're in that community. So and essentially it removes the borders of when it comes to email lists and all these other ways of, that border is gone. We're in partnership and in collaboration. We actually can then share each other and connect with each other, because we're all like-minded groups in synergy together. So by that, that's when we talk about this whole hierarchy thing, it's not about that. It's actually about how we in partnership are linking together, and they're sharing resources in a greater way. And actually, I just want to apologize, but I need to run to another meeting. But it is lovely to be with you all. And again, as you go through the tutorial again, if you want to reach out to me directly, you can chat with me. I'm always here, I'm around, but again, it's been a pleasure, and just we'll be having way more of these connections and relational connections together monthly. So be on the lookout, join, and if you have any questions around creating your Holon, you can reach out to me directly. But Yasmine, Krisha, or Claire can totally help in that effort as well. So, but love you all, big love and hugs, and I will be with you soon.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariko.
Thank you.
And thank you all so much for joining us today. It's really lovely to be with you all and to share Hylo. And I'm so excited to see you all in our space and be in the movement with you.
Yep. Thank you all very much as well. There's a program in Spain, a Holomovement conference. And will some of you be attending that? So, good. I will be too. So good.
Well, we'll definitely. See. You can go to holomovement.net/wave and find out more information about the Ibiza conference, May 23rd to the 27th. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Great.
I also just want to add, because now you're part of the Holomovement and the Hylo ecosystem, we're hosting a community call next week. So if you are free, please join. I'm going to put the link here in the chat as a way to get to know even more community members across the world.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all again so much. I wish you all a beautiful day. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.